All right, Donnie Van Curen is here, and this is part of a process we began last week talking about how to overcome an affair. And you went through some vital steps last week, but there's a number of steps that go along with this.
Yeah, there's a 3-segment series we're going to go through, and we went through a few last time, and about stopping the affair, first of all, making sure that was done with, knowing there will be ups and downs throughout this process, and then discussing what happened openly and being able to go back and forth. So
that's our review. Okay, and so next 3 steps, and you said this is going to be a 3-part thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's 9 of them. And so
he's coming back next week.
Good math, Donnie.
Next week, too.
He's not, he doesn't just help people out with their issues. He's got that math,
too. That's right. I count, too. So the next one would be the person who had an affair has to be willing to be accountable for his or her whereabouts, even though he or she may think that's unfair. And that can be really tough because it's like, okay, it happened a month ago. Well, I want to know where you were last night. I want to GPS you. It could get to an extent, but the person that had the affair has got to be willing to say, whatever, I want you to know where I'm at all times to help that trust came.
Do you see a lot of that of someone who's had the affair to just go, you know, we're moving on. That was the past, and I don't want to tell her
Let's
where.
move right. You know what happened yesterday, but we should just move on. I mean, yes, absolutely.
But trust issues. I mean, that trust has been broken, so you got to do whatever it takes if you want to build it back up.
Absolutely. That's where it starts. The next one is the need. There needs to be the willingness to make promises and commitments about the future. What an affair will not, saying that an affair will not happen. You'll find people that have the affair saying, well, I don't want to promise this because I don't know, I may mess up again. And you're like, okay, that's not what I want to hear. I want to hear you tell me specifically, this is never going to happen again, and I'm not going to do it. And that has to be verbal. That has to be said with integrity, and that's got to be a part of the process. It sounds wild that someone wouldn't do it.
I know, right? Like, no, I can't make that. When you said that, my eyes got really big. I was like, whoa!
It happens.
Major red flag.
They won't say it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Both of these things are kind of surprising that people would just come out and be, okay, I'm okay with you knowing where I am, and I'm okay with admitting that this will never happen again.
Right. When you're dealing with affairs, you're not dealing with logic. A lot of times it's a lot of emotions, and so a lot of things are going on that are counterintuitive. And lastly, the betrayed person should set the timeline of the recovery. A lot of times, and you were just saying this, that the person that did the betrayal says, okay, when is this going to be done? 30 days? Well, the person that was hurt has got to say, okay, this is how long it's going to last, and this is when we're good. And you've got to let that control be the person that hurt. That helps with trust, but then it helps them get to that point where they need to. And you've got to trust that you're going to do what you need to do.
Wow. Well, the person betrayed, do they have a timetable, or are they just kind of like, I'll tell you when I'm good?
Well, the hard part is they don't.
Is that what it is?
And a lot of times they're going to base it on emotions, and my job is to help them kind of process that. They generally don't, but they know that it's not done. That's usually what happens. Is, I know we're not there yet, and the person's like, well, when are we going to be there? Well, I don't know, but we're not there yet.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay, Donnie, thanks again for part 2. We'll have part 3 next Friday, I am guessing. If you have a question for Donnie, send it to AskDonnie@news9.net, or you can visit his website, counseling1820.com, and we're back after this.